As I listen to different videos of other people who are Christians and who love the Lord, um, even though it has like different topics and whatnot, I feel as if there's a scattering going on. Like there really is, because a lot of people have left church. I mean, me right now, I really um, don't want to go to church. Not because I hate my church, but because there are a lot of times when I feel like I just have too much on my plate and I just want to be left alone, per se. Um, but I listen to all these videos and I just feel like if there's just a scattering going on, because so many people who are Christians and who love the Lord, they talk a lot, they just talk a lot of things that just seem as if what Christians are doing is wrong or what churches are doing is wrong. Yes, churches are doing a lot of wrong stuff, but I was listening, for example, I was listening to one woman. I listened to two of her videos actually. One of her video was about witchcraft in the church, which I already know some of that is going on. And also the second video that I watched from her, which was interesting, she was talking about armor bearing, and she was like how the church is just, they're taking some of these young people and they're giving them a title called armor bearing, and how they're just having those people as a slave to the pastors. And I'm like, I wonder if she know that it really is a title, and being an armor bearer, I mean, like it can be, yes, it can be a tough job, because I don't want it, I really don't want it, but also it's a rewarding position, not for the pastors. It's a reward, because I've seen people who do armor bearing and listen, their life is protected, they're blessed, and they're doing great. Plus, you actually have the advantage of having the pastors pray for you more, because obviously you're going to be taking on a lot and everything. Like, I've seen people move forward just because they're being an armor bearing. It's not, well, not to say just because they're being an armor bearing, but they're serving, and they're pretty much, I've seen like a lot of the people in my church, basically they get blessed and the Lord rewards them because they're serving Him. Like, whatever they do, they're doing it for Him. And the Bible speaks about whatever you do it unto the Lord. So even if whatever the job is that you have in the church, you do it unto God. You're not supposed to basically just do it just because someone tells you to do it. And everybody needs like something inside the church to do. Even whether it's cleaning, whether it's basically helping out the pastors, or whether it's basically being one of the singers, or whatever you do it unto God. But back to the video, like, I wish I had the video where I can post it, but I don't want to post it, because I just think she doesn't have all the knowledge, and I don't think she go to church. But I don't think she have all the knowledge about what it means to be an armor bearer, because she's a Christian. She loves God. I would think so, because she has a lot of posts about God and everything. But the way she talk about it is like armor bearers are slaves, and that shouldn't be something in the church. But really and truly, like, sometimes, like, pastors, they do need help. And even Aaron, was it Aaron or was it Moses? God, I haven't even, but I believe it was Moses, either Moses or Aaron. One of those guys, they had to have armor bearers to literally hold up their hand while they were doing something. I don't think it was when they were crossing the Red Sea, but it was after that. Oh, they were fighting a war, and as long as he had his hand up in the air, they were winning the war. But if he took his hand down, they would lose the war. So he had to have someone to come and help up his hand while he was while the war was being, well, while the soldiers were basically fighting. So and they were pretty much his armor bearers, and it's just like that in the church. But really and truly, I like her videos, but I just don't think that she was well informed about armor bearers. So she's basically making it look like if being an armor bearer is a bad thing, when I know it's not. Um, and I feel like if it's the scattering that I said from the beginning, because different people are just talking a lot of stuff. Like, they're just, for that example that I just give, like a lot of things that they're not really knowledgeable about. Like, they're just talking about a lot of stuff, and the churches are just being scattered because there's a lot of misinformation, even on tithing. Like, I tithe and I love tithing because you know what? I see the benefits of my tithing. And some people, they don't want to tithe because they just think that the pastors want money. And you even hear people speaking against that, like they're Christians and they love the Lord, but they're speaking against tithing because they say that the man of God wants the money and the this and the that. You know what? Yes, in some cases that's probably true, but in other cases it's not, because at least, I don't know, but a lot of people, some people at least who have the real knowledge about tithing and armor bearing and a lot of things that are basically in the Bible that are being set, the examples that are being set forward today, they get that. But other people, they're Christians as well, and they're speaking against these things. And it's, I don't think it's right. These are the people who I think they just gone away and speaking their own things. Even people who most likely they speak against speaking in tongues, because apparently they don't think that, oh, when you speak in tongues that you're saying anything. But really and truly, like, they don't know the full story. They're like, oh, how do you know what you're saying, and that you're not saying nothing bad? Testimony. I fell down the subway station